a big game for us on Sunday. We are natural rivals with South Carolina, so we do this every year, and it's always a tough game in Columbia. They are always well coached. Coach Staley's an outstanding coach. They have a very, very talented group of players this year, very big, very physical, very athletic, and so it's a big challenge, but one we are looking forward to preparing for, and we'll work like crazy this afternoon and tomorrow to try to get ready for a tough SEC road game on Sunday.
They've sort of built season by season. They're obviously number one now. What are they doing better this year than maybe they have in past seasons?
Well, I just think they have an unbelievable group of kids there, and it's really a lot of good players from the state of South Carolina, and they've been able to keep all those kids home, and then they've done a great job in Charlotte and being able to get Tiffany Mitchell out of there, and so they've just done a really good job of collecting a great group of players first and foremost, and then they added Asia Wilson, who just makes them bigger and more talented, and they've just done a great job of building that team. And Dawn's a really tough competitor. That's what I respect so much about our relationship, since we are in this thing together each and every year. When you play somebody twice every year, you get to know them, and they're no matter where they're ranked number one, or we played them when they've been unranked, and it just doesn't matter. They're just always real tough, always play together, always play real hard, always make it tough on you to score, and so they're doing really the same things that South Carolina's become known for. They just, I think all those players coming back are a year older and have obviously gotten better, and then you add a talent like Wilson into the mix, and they're a very formidable opponent, one that we have great respect for.
Mitchell is their leading scorer, but then their next four are all girls who are 6 foot, 6'4", 6'5", 6'5". As somebody who's sort of trying to develop a post presence, how does that sort of strike you, and what are some things you can do?
Well, for where we are right now, it's a big challenge, and we have a different set of gifts that we're trying to bring out of our team, and we will play a little bit, we strategically would play a little bit different than they'll play, and so, but I think that what you have to do in this game is right now, at this point in the season, so very early in the conference season, we're still trying to become what I believe we can become, and so this is just an excellent test for us to go over and compete and try to earn a victory the way that we're going to have to earn victories when we finally become a finished product, and that's we're going to have to play strategically, really sound basketball. What you can't do in the post against them, you just can't go in there without a plan. You can't just turn around and shoot the ball at the basket. You have to have some focus on some technical things that you have to do to guard the post. You can't go chest to chest with them and challenge them. You're just going right into shot blockers. You've got to be technically sound and strategically sound. But one thing that I don't think you can do right now is shy away from the paint. You've got to go in there and try to get paint points, and you have to be strategic about it and be technically sound. So that's for me. We're trying to boil it down for this young post group who lacks in height. We've got to use our skill, and we've got to be able to make some free throw line jumpers, and that are still scored in the paint, but maybe you're not going right into all of that at great size. Coates, I think that she's just going to reach up and touch the rim, standing still. I mean, she's just such a imposing physical presence. And then, like I said, they've added Wilson and then Welch is so tough, and Ibiam's so tough. They're just a really big group. Did I leave somebody out? I think I'm leaving somebody out. They've probably got another 6'5" over there. So it's a tough group, and we'll have to play with some. We'll have to prepare well, and then take it to the court and earn a victory through great, being technically sound and great strategy.
Do you go into a game like this just telling them that, go out and give it everything you've got nothing to lose, no one, people don't necessarily expect you to win this game? I mean, can you sort of take that attitude into this, or do you?
The attitude we're trying. I don't think that we ever go into that game. I don't know. And maybe it's my fault that people don't regard us very highly. I mean, we're rated 10th in the country, and are 2 or 3 or something in the RPI, and we've played a murderous schedule, and we're missing our top defender right now. And so, I just guess I don't promote our team very well, because to think that we're some prohibitive underdog here and we don't have a chance to win. Now, could we go over there and lose? There's no question if we don't play well, but we are certainly not going over there to give it all we got, and hopefully we can hang in there with them. We're going over there to win. And now, are we a mature enough basketball team to be technically sound and to execute the strategy on Sunday? I don't know about that, but we're certainly not going over there to give the old college try and see if we can hang with them. We're going to go over there to win, and it's a tall task, but I believe we have a plan that if we execute the plan and play our tails off, we'll have a great chance to win. If we don't, it's not much different than any other game in the league. I've just said that is where our team is right now. We can only play with one type of energy level for us to really be successful in this league, and we'll have to play with tremendous effort and energy because they do have some advantages inside, which have carried them to an undefeated record so far. So they're a very tough opponent, but we're going to approach the game from one of preparing to win.
Didn't mean to insult you. I was just.
Oh, there's not at all. I think that's just the general sense. I don't know exactly why that is, and you know our team better than anybody, so I'm not saying that you're insulting. I'm just saying that I just get the sense that no one's really talking a lot about us right now, and I don't really care about that, but it's puzzling with the challenges that we've had and the record that we have. We're in good shape right now. I will say this: a loss there on Sunday doesn't do much to hurt you. I don't know where they are in the RPI. I would say they have to be probably top 20 or so, and a road loss just doesn't, against a really good team, just does not hurt you a whole lot. So from that standpoint, for the players to go over and play with some attitude of let's turn it loose and give everything we have, I think that would be a good attitude to have, because I don't know when we've won. I think we've lost the last 2. It's been real difficult the last couple of times we've played over there. So I don't go into it with the mindset of we're playing the number 1 team. We're playing South Carolina, who's our natural rival, who we have to go over there every year. It's a root canal for me every year going over there because they're so tough. That's a compliment to South Carolina, not a dig at them. It's a tough game. And so I think the familiarity for me, I know what's in store. I know how we'll have to play to win, and we just have to try to get that done.
Is Bria Goss going to try to go, or has she gone at all?
I don't know that it's in our long-term interest for her to go. I think that we got to check her today. If it were the last game of her career, would she go? She probably would. I'm sort of the mindset that if the doctor thinks next Thursday would be better or next Sunday would be better, I think we really have to think about who we want to be at the end of the year while still trying to improve and win games without her. But I want her feeling good about going into a game, and I'd like for her to really look me in the eye and say, I'm 100% ready to go back. And if she does that, then she'll play. And if we're anywhere, less than 85 or 90, I don't know that I'll really think about it. I'll say this, she's not going to be a big part of the game. I wouldn't think Sunday either way. I think her first entry back in, if you think about Denisha's entry back in, it's a little bit different because her knee limited her cardio a little bit, where Bria's cardio really hasn't been limited. I think she'll be better. But she's going to be sore. This is not going to be like, oh, wow, I'm all good and everything. I mean, she's going to have an adjustment period to come back. So no matter whether she gets some minutes Sunday or not, I don't think it's going to be a major factor in the game. I've been wrong before. She may be a tremendous factor in the game. I don't know. That's just my sense this afternoon on Friday.
Rebounding, something that came up a few times last night. What do you guys need to do differently? And do you take lessons from, maybe I'm thinking of the Baylor game, sort of first half versus second half, the way you rebounded against a bigger team?
Yeah, we'll just try to make it an overall point of emphasis. We clipped, our lack of effort and lack of intensity. We're teaching a certain thing in rebounding, and when you don't do it, we're just going to run, after the game the next day. So we've got all the clips pulled up, and so if you didn't box out 3 times, you're going to run 3 penalties. If you didn't box out 11 times, you're going to, do something a little bit worse. And I mean, that's just how we're going to try to drill it into our head, that we are not some spectacular, athletic, leaping team that just can turn around, look at the ball, and go up and get it. Cal and I were talking the other day. He was in practice, and he was like, he said, you guys are doing it a little bit different than I am, and that's because they have, they can just stick somebody and then go find the ball and jump up and get it because they're bigger, and, those guys can really leap. And, we've had some teams that maybe box outs weren't that important when, a Victoria Dunlap was just a glass eater, just an out-of-area rebounder. It wouldn't matter where the ball was. She could just go get it. Adia Mathis was a great leaper. Samari Walker was a great leaper. We just don't have that element this year. It doesn't mean we have a bad team. It just means we have to be technically and mentally strong, technically sound, and we just have to put a greater emphasis on doing it the right way. And we can get there. I just have to work hard as a coach and make sure that I have a real solid focus and discipline on it every day, and it's just got to be a daily habit, and we're just not there yet, and some of that's on me and some of that's on the players, and together we got to figure out a way where we can become a good box-out team. And listen, if we don't rebound, well Sunday, it'll be a long day because they just can reach over you and go get the ball, and so rebounding will be really important, and we'll do everything we can today and Saturday and Sunday morning to remind them, and then we'll go out and see if we can make some improvement from Thursday night to Sunday afternoon. This group's shown some ability to, once they start focusing in on something, that they can do some things and correct some things. We've corrected our turnovers so far in league play, and so hopefully we can have that kind of improvement on rebounds. If you can get the turnover margin as big as we got last night, I think it was plus 13 for us. You can give up a little bit on the boards. You don't have to win the boards, but I don't know how much we'll be able to turn South Carolina over. They're a tough team to. They don't turn the ball over much at all. Never have. They just do a great job in that area. So in that game, when you can't affect them with a lot of turnovers, you really got to pay attention to the boards.
Crescero has been admitted. Can you talk about her coming, and then sort of the process you go through when kids want to transfer in, especially ones that have been dismissed from prior teams?
Well, we are excited and hopeful for her future here. I think there's a great opportunity for her. And when I'm presented with a situation, I just try to get, as many of the facts as I can get, without, weighing too heavily on trying to get into the details of the situation. And really, for me, it's about spending time with the player. I don't make any decisions until they get here and I can sit in a room with them and look them in the eye and tell them what it's going to be. We've had success with transfers because really at this point in time, this is, you don't have to get it right the first time, but you basically, for all intents and purposes, you need to get it right the second time. You don't need to make a mistake on the transfer. And so I'm just very blunt and honest with people. Crochet has some tremendous gifts, and I think she wants to try to realize those and try to, reach her potential. It was a situation that reminds me from a little bit of Denisha Stallworth, where Denisha just felt like there was another level she could reach, and she wanted to be pushed, and it worked out for Denisha. Will it work out for Crochet? Will be in large part to her attitude and how much effort she gives, but we've had success in these situations, and the risk is really, does a player want to come in and really take advantage of her second opportunity? Because if you leave here, now it's probably not going to be somewhere like Kentucky. It's probably going to be something different. So, she has a chance to come in here at a program that's had some success, and I think her talent level clearly is on par with what we need and what can be successful in our league. And now we just have to do a good job of just wrapping our arms around her like we do in this program, and welcoming her into our family, and making sure we do a good job on helping her reach her goals and develop as a person first, which is what we always do. And then, when she develops as a young woman and matures, her basketball will be very good if she does the things she needs to do to improve. So that was, we had a lot of time we spent together on the phone, and then she came out to Lexington, and we spent, as much time as you can in 48 hours really having direct, frank, blunt conversations about what this is going to be like. And don't come unless you understand exactly what this is. And she feels like this is a place where she can be successful, so we'll work hard to try to help her do that.
How does a kid from California who went to Oregon end up at Kentucky? Did you recruit her? Did you know of her before this happened? And then how much background did you do? I mean, when a kid, the difference between her and Denisha is that Denisha was not dismissed from her program. She chose to leave. So was that a concern?
Well, so all of it's a concern. Anytime it doesn't work out at a place for somebody, and you are presented with it to start off, it is a concern. I don't enter into any of it lightly or like I don't want to know what's going on. I think coaching changes sometimes work, and sometimes they don't. I think in this one, the two styles really different, and the style here is going to be different. But sometimes when you leave, and you understand that it sort of failed at that place, and you don't really have another option. That's what I bank on is in working out, and just sitting with the kid. Is it a bad kid, or is it just a kid that kind of got into a situation where it didn't work out, and a program's going in a different direction. And I have a lot of respect for both coaches, Coach Westhead and Coach Graves. They're both very good coaches, just different. And so now I think that experience, instead of impacting Crochet negatively, sort of woke her up to, hey, I really need to get to a place that's going to hold me accountable and that's going to really try to push me to my limits, and we'll see if it works or not. I'm very optimistic about it, but to tell you that I know situations are going to work out, I don't know if they are when we sign them as freshmen. You know, we've had freshmen leave here before. We've had players leave here because it wasn't working for them. You know, Megan Conwright is having a great year down at Florida State, and she wanted to leave and didn't think this was good for her. So we investigated and got background, and we are optimistic that this is going to be very positive for all parties, and we'll work like crazy to make sure that it is.
How did she get here?
Well, I think when a player like that decides to transfer, top programs are contacted. So people just, I mean, I think she starts to look around, and for us, we, I think, suit her style of play. Offensively, I think she wanted to be in an up-tempo style of play where you don't have a lot of handcuffs on you. You know, the challenge for her is, can she adjust to the defensive style of play? And we really talked to her about that, and it's going to be very tough and demanding. And another thing that seems to help with us is when you have that period to practice where you don't have to get out and produce immediately. There's a little bit of trial period there where you can kind of learn the system, and the pressure's on in practice, but maybe not so much as it would be if you had to immediately step in and play with. I don't know why. We've just had some success with that. Again, we don't have a perfect track record with players. We've had players transfer, and we've had players unhappy, and so I'm optimistic that it will work, and I think she's a very talented player, and looking forward to getting started.